Hello everybody and welcome to ORWBL Tonight, episode 4. We're going to take a look back at last week's matchups and look ahead to this week. Let's start with what happened last week, week 3 of matchups. We had, first one, it was our matchup of the week. Granger Panthers travel to Migley Field and take 2 out of 3 from the New Carlisle Newts.
You know, I think this is one of the biggest series we've seen so far. It shows that Panthers, you know, they're not joking, and it's kind of a wake-up call for the Newts. You know, last year they weren't really challenged at all, really, but now, you know, they say, crap, we got a challenge, and, you know, I think it's just a big series for both teams.
Next up, we had the Maple City Magic took 2 from Cabo Yabos.
You know, I think this was pretty expected. Some bad conditions. Good for Cabo to take a game from Maple City, and, you know, good for Maple to just win the series as we all expected they would.
Next up, Pterodactyls took 2 from the Godfathers.
This was an interesting one. You know, I didn't know who was going to win. I don't think anyone really did, but the Dactyls came out. They got their first 2 wins of the season, and, you know, they're looking pretty decent right now.
Next up, a big shock here. Jet City Junk Ballers swept the Hudson Lake Heat.
Yeah, this is another huge series for this week. You know, these two teams are pretty much rivals now, fighting for that AL West lead, and Jet City's got it now. You know, I think this was a big series because, you know, Hudson Lake was trying to, you know, show that they can hang with Jet City, but again, it looks like Jet City's going to prevail this week in the standings.
Then we had Olive Township Mechanics took 2 from the Lynn Street Leprechauns.
You know, everyone was looking at the Olive Township schedule for the first 3 weeks since they haven't really played anyone. And this loss to Lynn Street, you know, it's really interesting because now people are saying they really don't play anyone. They lost to Lynn Street. Maybe this 8-1 record doesn't mean anything. We're going to see next week when they play when they go to Migley and play the Newts.
And the final matchup of the week, Emery's Armies took 2 from the Galena Marsh Taco Punchers.
Yeah, Emery's getting back on track. You know, they start off 0-6, but they got the first 2 wins of the season. They just had a rough start, haven't played in a year, and I think they'll be back better than ever soon. They play Lynn Street next week, so you never know.
Speaking of next week, let's look ahead of the 6 matchups we have for week 4. First up, Maple City Magic travel to Michigan to play the Great Lakes Godfathers. Griffin, who you got?
You know, I got Maple City sweeping pretty easily. The power ranking or the odds have them favored pretty heavily, and I don't think it's a good matchup for the Godfathers. I think Maple City sweeps. How about you?
I think Maple City's going to win the series. I can't decide whether it's going to be 2 out of 3 or a sweep, but I think they'll definitely take it for sure. Great Lakes have been kind of streaky this year, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Next matchup, we got the Dactyls at the Junk Ballers.
No, I got the Junk Ballers sweeping, hopefully, but remember last time Junk Ballers played someone like the Dactyls, the Godfathers, you know what happened. Godfathers took 2 out of 3, so, you know, I'm not so sure about the sweep, but I feel a sweep coming.
I'd say no sweep, but Jet City will win it. I'll take 2 out of 3 Jet City. I think Dactyls will definitely steal a game over at Old Rock Field. Next up, we got Cabo Yabos at Hudson Lake Heat.
This is the biggest toss-up of the week for me. You know, Heat are favored slightly, but I like Cabo on the road here. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling Cabo's going to take 2 out of 3 here. No sweeps. I'm
going to go a little bold here. I'm going to say the Heat sweep, actually. I just feel like I'm really confident after getting swept last week. I'm going to feel like they're going to want to bounce back. You know, they got to get 3 games that, you know, they're now not winning the division anymore. They got to regain that lead and try to fight back for that division lead in the AL West. Next up, we got the Olive Township Mechanics at the New Carlisle Newts in a night game at Migley on June 3rd.
Yeah, this is our matchup of the week for a good reason. You got the Newts, everyone knows they're a powerhouse, and then you got the Mechanics 8-1. You know, they're trying to prove themselves. Unfortunately, I don't think they will. I think the Newts will take 2 out of 3, if not sweep.
I think this is going to be a close series. I think every game is going to be within a couple runs. And I think the Newts are going to take 2 out of 3. I don't think they'll get the sweep, though. Next up, we got Emery's Army at the Lynn Street Leprechauns.
This one's interesting. Leprechauns got their first win last week, so they could be coming, you know, hot-headed. But I think Emery's will take the sweep here. I just think Emery's got off to a good start last week in the first 2 wins. I think they're going to bounce back, be 5-7, back in that division race.
Yeah, I'd agree. Congrats to Lynn Street, by the way, on getting that first win of the season. But I think Emery's going to get a sweep this year. I think they're going to start rolling now. Rolling Prairie, no pun intended there. But I think they're going to get going, and yeah, they're going to get back in the division race. And the final match of the week, we got the Galena Marsh Taco Punchers at the Granger Panthers.
Now, I like the Panthers to at least take 2 out of 3, if not sweep. They tweeted they might be missing a couple of their players, so probably 2 out of 3, you know, maybe a sweep.
Yeah, I have to agree. Probably, most likely a sweep, but I could definitely see 2 out of 3. Taco Punchers are a lot better than their record shows, so it'll be a good series, but I'll take Granger in that one. All right, let's go ahead and look at fact or fiction for this week.
You say you never had it so good.
fact or fiction. We got a couple statements here to read off, and then we're going to decide if they are fact or fiction. First one, Hudson Lake Heat will regain the AL West lead at some point this season. Griffin, fact or fiction?
I think that's fiction. I think they'll come close, but I think Jet City, they're playing well now after that first couple of weeks scare, and I think Jet City's just going to run away slightly with the division. I think the Heat will finish maybe 2 or 3 games back, but I think Jet City will keep it throughout the rest of the season. How about you?
I think it's a fact, actually. They're only 2 games back right now. There's a lot of season left, and Heat are a really good team. I think at some point they will be leading the division again this year. They're just too good of a team not to, in my opinion. And the next statement we have here is the Olive Township Mechanics will win one of their next 3 series. Their next 3 series are against the Newts, the Panthers, and the Junk Ballers.
This is a hard slate of series, 3 games, 3 series here. I don't think they can win any of them. If they can, they could probably win against Jet City, maybe take a game or 2. But I don't know. I think that's fiction.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's fiction as well. These are arguably 3 of the best teams in the league they're going up against. And, it's going to be tough. I believe 2 of them at least are on the road. And so, that's going to be tough for them. I think they might, like you said, they might be able to get a series win against Jet City, but I don't think they'll get one against Newts or Granger. So I'm going to have to say fiction on that one. All right, let's go ahead and look at our upsets of this week.
Yeah, 'cause I don't really know who I'ma lose this year. Oh, man, I love my team, man, I love.
Upset of the week, we pick a team that's most likely to get an upset this week, according to the odds made by Wiffleball News. Griffin, who's your upset of the week?
Like I said earlier, Hudson Lake's favorited slightly, so I'm going to take Cabo over them. I just like the matchup there. Heat not playing well as of late against Jet City, so I think Cabo upset them.
I actually think most likely to upset this week, coming off their first win, Lindstreet over Emery's. I said earlier in the show I think Emery's could win. I can see it going either way. Really, it's a toss-up. It kind of just depends who shows up. But Lindstreet is playing well. Maybe they're going to be confident and come in. I'm thinking they're most likely to get the upset this week of the underdogs on the odds. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our sweep. Most likely to sweep this week.
I got an easy one for me, Maple City over Great Lakes. It's just, I don't really think it's a discussion. I think Maple City's going to sweep.
And I actually have what Griffin had as the upset of the week the other way around. I have Hudson Lake over Cabo Yabo. Hudson Lake coming off getting swept to the Junk Ballers, and I think they're going to be, a little bit angry. I think it's going to light a fire under them, and they're going to come out and they're going to play probably some of their best games of the year, and I think they're going to get the sweep against Cabo Yabo.
Yeah, it should be an interesting, week 4.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. Go ahead and check out that night game coming up this Saturday. If you're not doing anything Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time at Migley Field. Mechanics versus Newts will be our match for the week. And then all the other games are going to be played on the 4th this Sunday. So it's going to be an interesting week. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and check out some other videos on the channel. And if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. And thanks for watching.